African Global Operations, formerly known as Bosasa, has announced that it will go into voluntary liquidation as a result of banks closing their accounts. The company says it's received formal notification to this effect from ABSA and FNB, citing reputational risks. The banks will all cut ties with the company by the end of this month. More than 4,500 employees stand to lose their jobs. Rene, Bekker, COO of the South African Restructuring and Insolvency Practitioners Association. She joins us now. A very good evening. Rene, Bekker is in Pretoria. Let me first start with the company, volunteering for liquidation. Was it pushed or did it jump? Because they're blaming the media for the banks cutting off their financing and accounts because of reputational risks.
Good evening, Professor. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you tonight. Yes, I've been looking at the News 24 articles. And I think that the Zondo Commission was clear, and I don't think one can blame the media. The evidence was clear, and the reputational damage, I think, was done by the witnesses at the Zondo Commission. So I'm not quite sure if you can blame the media on this one at least. But yes, there was definitely reputational damage, and the banks have now made a decision. We've seen that they're going to cut their facilities or close their bank accounts by the end of February.
So help us understand in layman's terms what the banks look at when they talk about reputational risks. What are they assessing?
Okay, difficult to talk, for me from a bank's perspective, but let's try. I think we have a wonderful example where we had the Bank of Baroda with the whole the Gupta saga, if I may call it that, and we really had the situation that no bank in South Africa was prepared, or even internationally, to provide the Gupta group, the Optimum Minds and that with any banking facilities. So yes, the banks have to look, their branding is very important. They owe a duty to South Africa and to its citizens to uphold the highest, to have a very high duty of transparency. And with the Zondo Commission, with all this evidence coming out, I suspect that the banks have taken this decision and just decided to close the bank accounts.
What about what came out of the State Capture Commission in terms of how the company was doing business? Was it in a financially viable way? Was it sustainable?
Well, from what I understood from the evidence is that millions of rands were being paid in bribes. And, with all due respect, I cannot for one think that that can be sustainable. And, just reading the articles today on News 24, the very sad story of the workers saying that they never knew that people were being paid millions. They weren't being paid properly, and they were receiving very, meager salaries, and the shock that they were basically standing outside the offices when they heard about the liquidation, asking for more money. So, no, the answer is no. I do not think it was trading in a viable circumstance.
The liquidation, how is it going to affect the company's current operations? I know they're warning of job losses of about 4,000 people, but are those people going to stay until a particular point, or would they have to get rid of them now?
From the information that I've gleaned, an article talks to a solvent company, that the company is technically and commercially solvent. And then they talk about the facilities being withdrawn. So I'm not quite sure. What can happen now is that the company has been placed into liquidation. We know that now. the special resolution will now be provided to the Master of the High Court. The Master of the High Court will now appoint a provisional liquidator, and that provisional liquidator will now sit down with the creditors. And if there is a reasonable prospect that this company can be saved, then it's not the end of the line. But it's very difficult for me to give you an answer definitively at this stage, Peter.
Now, I want to look at the suppliers. Are they also going to be automatically impacted on?
Oh, yes. On the date of liquidation, and if I understand correctly, it was either on Friday or today, everything comes to is seized. All operations are seized, and the only person that can now move forward with the company is the provisional liquidator. And should he decide, after consultation with the creditors, that there are certain contracts that are to the benefit of creditors, then he can apply to the High Court for his powers to be extended, and the company can carry on until there is a definitive decision taken.
The company's made a very curious statement in the sense that they've said that this is going to also have a major impact on township projects. And the President, during his State of the Nation address, said that government was looking to bolster township economies. Could this be interpreted as an overture of some sort for being rescued?
Yes, absolutely. As I said before, if a provisional liquidator goes and investigates, and he is of the opinion that this is a company that has a reasonable prospect of being saved, then absolutely the company can be saved and jobs will not be lost, which will be wonderful for everyone concerned.
Final question. A lot of people are wondering what the effect of the arrests that have been made of Bosasa officials and now this liquidation will have on the State Capture Commission inquiry. Will it see more frank information coming out?
Well, this is not technically my area, but I think that the call has now been made to all South Africans to come forward and to give evidence. So no, I don't think so. I think the South African citizen who has been involved has the courage to come forward and to put everything on the table so that we can have closure and carry on.
Thank you so much for your time and insights. That there is Rene Bekker, she's CEO of the South African Restructuring and Insolvency Practitioners.